Welcome back to the Talltale Tavern, the monthly one-shot adventure TTRPG podcast. I am your tavern master and host, Kyle, and we are here for Chapter 5 of Expedition Untold. Joining me at the bar tonight, don't like that red, gives me a fright. But don't matter what it is, it's gonna be all right, right. The sun, the fire, the whiskey are the only things that fix me. Becca, welcome, Becca.
Thank you. You did
Nice
such a
you
good
back.
job.
Oh, thanks. Did you send me an intro, by the way? I need to have an intro.
Oh, no, I forgot about
Okay.
that. Oh, well, I'll catch it on episode 6. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Also here, breaking form tonight to let everyone know that she watched a classic Western to prepare for tonight, Mary-Kate and Ashley's How the West Was Fun. It's Brooke.
Thank you. I did, in fact, watch a YouTube summary of the movie because I didn't have time to watch the full thing, but I had to rep for my girls.
I'm glad there is a YouTube summary of that. Also here, a dashing-looking Crum here to have some fun, Swain. Welcome, Swain.
Welcome, Crum.
Also, two guests to be stressed. Best chest in the West, Charlie. Welcome, Charlie.
What's up?
Also, wouldn't last 5 minutes leading an outfit like that if he wasn't rotten as hell, the bad man Bones. Welcome, Bones.
Hello, happy to be playing a villain today. I didn't know we were going to be so loosey-goosey for the intro, but at least I'm sticking to my fun killer persona.
I like that your hat's just blurred enough to make it look like a bowler.
Oh, yeah. Audio listeners, you're missing out.
Yeah, switch to the YouTube.
You
Switch
are
to the
missing.
YouTube.
And last but not least, feeling very ready and willing to pretend he lives in a different universe for some reason. Scott Esmond is here. Welcome, Scott.
I was ready to give you shit if you didn't get the correct number of berries. You got all 20. Good job.
That was
did.
impressive. You
I had
did
my
this
cursor.
track.
I quickly responded, and so I needed my cursor for that. Great welcome on this day where we're recording this on November 7th. Great, welcome back, players. Excited to have you all back. Excited to jump back into the story. So without further ado, let's reopen the book, turn to Chapter 5, and continue the story of Expedition Untold. Roll the intro!
Previously on Expedition Untold. Would you believe it? My noble cohorts Huguenard Rockbridge, Namby Pembleton, and I, Mtiro Berstero, were at our monthly book club meeting when the Talltale Tavern was attacked by a monstrous red ooze. To protect us, the bartender somehow sent us into the story world of Zoonopia. The ooze's influence followed, but with the help of some old favorite characters, we were able to drive it away and follow it through a portal to the town of Violet Creek from the Maleficent Seven. A pair of dragonborn twins led us to Sheriff Valley Jack and Deputy Crum and informed all of us of an attack on a shipment of vaccines for a curious local illness, the Crimson Cough. After speaking with the Pinkerton who was attacked, we realized that the duplicitous dragonborn deceived us and were in fact part of the posse that perpetrated the crime. We raced back to town, and thanks to the fortuitous arrival of Whiskey Waltz, we were able to best the gang in an epic shootout. Victory tasted of ash, though, as the gang's leader, Levi Rook, appeared at the fight's conclusion and killed Whiskey before surrendering himself. Shortly after, we were joined by a pair of, frankly quite rude, marshals who informed us Rook and the vaccines were to be shipped off to the city of Paradise. Now, it is our duty to aid in the transport of the medicine and the ne'er-do-well Levi Rook to Constance, where we will put them both on the 259 to Paradise.
Pretty sure I got promotion during the last episode.
Yes, this is
Just a
good.
moment. But sorry, let me go cycle back. I'll do the whole intro again somewhere in the
Start over, please.
And we didn't talk about Edith's soup at all?
Yeah.
That is going to come back in a big way.
Yeah, that is the true vaccine.
And also, Crum got a promotion and started dating an older woman who makes great soup.
So you all have just finished speaking with Marshal Buckworth and his partner Marshal Tannenbaum and have elected to join their caravan to escort the antitoxin vaccines to the town of Constance to meet the train, the 259, to Paradise. Tomorrow morning you will head out and have 2 days of travel to get there. You'll also be taking the prisoner Levi Rook with you to face his judgment in Paradise, where he will face justice and likely be returning to Deepstone Prison, nicknamed the Portal to Hell. Joining you will also be the Pinkerton old man, Corlin Highland. And so you all are standing in the sheriff's office. Levi Rook, tied up, I think still in that rope of entanglement, I think it is, inside the cell. Standing around with Whiskey Waltz's body, I think, on the desk. Still. So we rejoin after everything settles down a little bit. Marshal Tannenbaum goes out to check on the horses, and Marshal Buckworth is in the room as well, rummaging through his own bag of things.
Valley Jack looks around the group as Buckworth's in the room with us.
He is currently. He's
okay.
He's kind of minding his own business.
I think I will pull out a flask, take a swig, pass it to Crum, looking thoughtfully over at whiskey on the desk. Lost a good man there.
Sure did. Wish I had a crisp water and a whiskey to remember him by. But the whiskey will do. And Crum will throw back the flask a little and pass it along.
Imtiro will take the flask, but he also pulls out a little slip of paper and scribbles down on it like,
Feeling the dryness in the air, Imtiro looked to the right on the desk where he saw a beautiful pitcher of cold ice water waiting for him, and burn it and use that. My performance of creation, I can use extra ones if I have spell slots available, so I burn a 3rd level spell slot to create just some delicious water that I pour a glass for Crum and hand it to him in exchange for the flask when I take a drink of it.
One single tear rolls down Crum's.
Truly, he was a great fighter and one of the bravest men I've ever seen to walk around looking so disgusting at all times.
And I'll take a sip. I'll pass it on.
If you hand it to Namby, she'll take a little sip and then immediately kind of like hiccup because she doesn't usually drink whiskey. And she just solemnly passes it on to Hugh.
Yeah, he will take a drink and pass it to Valley Jack again.
Feels like got a lot of mysterious questions here.
I would actually, if you don't mind, I would like to ask you about a few things and maybe explain a little bit more.
Yes, I would. I think before we get started, and you're asking us more, I think a lot of strange stuff has happened in our town today. Not the least, the three of you making water appear magically on our tables and
it was there all along, I assure you.
Doing some sort of devilish trickery out here.
I do fear that there is a devil playing tricks on your town, but it is not us. This may sound hard to believe, but we come from a very far away land, and in our land, you are all known to us only as characters in a story that we've heard told. Possibly true stories. Honestly, I don't really understand how that works at the tavern, but a monster attacked our home. some sort of red monster, and it has it was infecting the stories, it seems, in some way. We've been transported inside of these stories, which is why we are so familiar with who all of you are. We've come from another story before this one where that same red monster that was impacting our tavern was infecting one of the heroes of that story, and notably, that monster is red. And now you have this...
An infection.
Mysterious crimson cough in your world, something that was never mentioned in the stories that we heard.
Huh.
Crum's gonna reach over and pinch Valley Jack on the face. He'd be like, "Oh, are you real? Are either of us real?"
I now know I'm
real.
not dreaming.
This is really messing me up right now.
I don't have an answer to that question, but it feels real to us that are here, and it feels as though we've been sent to help.
And I think by helping, we might be able to learn a little bit more about whatever this weird red stuff is, and it just keeps doing bad stuff wherever we find it. But I don't know. We don't have any idea what it is.
In the last story, and then Hugh kind of glances over at whiskey on the desk, and on the last story, when we figured out whatever it was that we needed to do to reset it, things got better. So maybe whiskey's not gone. If we can just figure out, I don't know.
We don't really have a lot of answers, but we just want to help.
Helping hand is always appreciated around here.
But I do want to point out that we should probably be aware that this red ooze monster, it changed people's personalities in the stories. So personalities that we read about may not be what is right now because of the monster. So I hate to ask, but what's been happening the last 5 years? It just seems weird. In the story we read, Ella died. And then she was in jail with you guys in your story and got out somehow, escaped it. And why did Rooks hate whiskey so much in particular? I mean, I killed 2 of those men.
Would have killed more.
We didn't. When did you say we killed Ella? When we were fighting the Maleficent Seven?
Yeah, she was the last one to go down. Yeah, at the end of the fight.
No. We Cassie caught her. We played poker the night before. She did detect thoughts and figured out that Ella was lying to us.
Oh.
That it was all a con. We caught her before we went in.
Oh.
It was a surprise that she had turned on you guys in that last. You guys didn't figure it out.
Yeah,
What about the other Maleficent
everyone.
7 members then? How did that go down?
Light work at that point.
Right.
Okay.
Then she went in, and yeah, she met you. And Valley Jack slams his rail against the jail bars in the cell where Rook is.
Whoa.
I think you can probably help fill in some of those gaps, Rook.
What's the DC on the rope of entanglement?
Million.
It's really good.
Unbeatable.
Well, it has 20 HP. It is a DC 15.
Well, I was gonna see how many rounds it would take Rook to get out of that while he's sitting there, but I rolled a 25 on my first deck save, so I think he's just been sitting there with the rope sort of draped around him, and when you yank it, it just sort of pulls all the way out with no resistance.
Well, I banged my rail against the bars, I didn't try to slam you against the bars.
Well, if you're still holding onto the rope, you notice it.
I do notice the rope is
Slack.
free, yeah. just like he broke out of this rope, he found his way out of jail too.
Was it this jail or the one in Paradise?
It was Paradise that he broke out of. I remember this Marshal, what's his name, said it. The Big Ugly Marshal. I think that's the name we agreed on for him. He's going to call me Fireboy. I'll call him Big Ugly Marshal.
He just glares and goes back to rummaging in his pack. He takes out he takes out a canister of water and sips it.
You can't have any of our ice water.
Yeah, no.
He's got shitty warm water.
It's got warm water.
It's pocket water right there.
I totally thought Kyle was gonna say a canister of beans and just like drink that, and I was like, nice. Sip it.
Gotta eat sometime.
Room temperature bean water.
He says, Valley, I'm gonna step out. I'll be back. And he walks out of the office.
Valley Jack, sir, I've been meaning to ask you as well. After the events of taking down the Maleficent Seven, what exactly happened for you to become this sort of bureaucrat sheriff in this town? It seems, no offense, but beneath your station.
Well, Violet Creek was pretty much destroyed in so many ways after the Maleficent Seven came through. They did not go down easy. They took towers down with them. A lot of the town needed to be rebuilt, and the town needed help. Crum and I stayed on and helped build new buildings, make sure there was a foundation for this town to live on.
And there wasn't much else around. I didn't have much else to do.
There's something about these people, Edith, Eudice, all of the...
That stew is really good. I wish we had time, but...
Yeah.
A good stew is a wonderful thing. I understand.
Where did Cassie go?
Cassie, it's been... What was the last time we heard from her, Crum? That day?
Yeah, that day. Kind of disappeared.
Yeah. Headed off. The little spiders were gone from my pocket.
Yeah, Crum will hold up his little talisman with the scorpion and resin and be like, "This is all I have to remember."
I'm excited to see it. As someone who's a fan of the story, I'm like, oh, there it is. The scorpion.
We had to get a new cobbler in town after Cassie left. Took the shoes off so many people in Violet Creek.
Yeah, she seems like a weirdo. That's And what about Whiskey? Did he take up work in the town, or was he here by happenstance?
Whiskey. It's hard to talk about him right now, but he was always a wanderer, and I knew that someday I'd never see Whiskey again, and I never thought it'd be like this,
Yeah.
You kind of always just expected him to be at the end of the bar.
Hugh turns and looks at Rooks. Why did you hate him so much? What did he do?
Oh, I never hated Whiskey Waltz. He just did me wrong, and he was the closest one standing to me.
Today or another day? Because why not us? I killed more men than he did.
Well, that's mighty impressive because, I've heard of Valley Jack and Crum and the Great Whiskey Waltz, but I ain't never heard of the three of you.
That's okay. You didn't answer my question, though. What else happened?
Nothing. Nothing else happened.
Rook, doesn't matter. None of us are real.
Yeah, all this talk about how you killed Ella McCoy, or maybe you don't remember killing Ella McCoy. I certainly don't remember it. Maybe you're not, Crum. This doesn't sound very real to me.
From what I recall, Levi Rook was not in the original story, so he must not be a very important character in this world.
You're definitely more unreal than I am.
Yeah, Crum, you're real. We knew about you. No one knows about him.
We were real enough to take out all your men. Then she kind of hides behind Hugh a little bit.
He instinctually just kind of does that scoop maneuver that dads do. Just kind of scoops her even more behind him.
yes, so don't cross us, because I took out both Jeb and Joe, so, you watch out.
Well, like I said, I'm impressed.
They weren't that hard, to be honest. You should find better men.
Levi, I don't see you even as someone who does care when his men died. From what I hear, you were often your own men yourself. What did whiskey do to you that brought you over the edge?
Well, it's just a matter of balance and scales. Whiskey, I respected him. And like you said, my men, not the most impressive. I know it. That's why I need a lot of them. The scales have been balanced somewhat. Corlin, he's real focused on balancing his scales. He's been chasing me for a long time. I wouldn't be too surprised to hear he's spinning some tall tales.
Yeah. Why'd you leave him breathing?
Well, because he's more fun like that.
Can I do an insight roll on obviously everything is a lie and
He's
like
a bad
an
guy.
obscuring.
That's the vibe I'm
Obviously. I don't even know why I'm bothering.
I was like, ooh, can I roll deception against this?
Yeah, I guess. Me, Becca watched the movie as
roll
homework, but I think I should. Hugh wouldn't have watched the movie.
Go ahead and roll an insight. Roll an insight check.
Okay, with my +0. Oh, and my -4 because I'm too
Yes, you are
exhausted.
too exhausted.
Has it been
Does the
less than
cold
10
water-
minutes? I don't know how, because I know at the end you still had my emboldening bond, but I don't know if we want to say it's been more than 10 minutes at this point.
Since the fight.
Well,
fight.
it doesn't
Oh,
matter,
yes, it's been
guys.
more than
I
10
rolled
minutes,
a 6,
for sure.
which becomes a 2. I'm facing the opposite direction. I don't even know what room I'm in. Gonna get those out of the way before some combat. All right. Well, he seems fine.
Yeah, seems like a stand-up guy, actually.
Yeah, I believe him. Not hiding anything.
You heard these strangers talking about the Crimson Cough, Levi. You had the vials. What do you know?
Oh, about as much as you, Jack. It's been tearing through the countryside.
How long? And I look to kind of everybody.
We all turn and face Kyle, the DM.
Marshall Buckworth walks in, and
Weird timing.
Crimson Cough, you say? Crimson Cough, it's a pretty new, been around about 3 to 6 months, 6 months in the outskirts, but it's made its way to the big city now, and so any time now it's gonna spread all around the west. And then he walks through and says, I overheard a little bit. What do you know about these vaccines here? These antitoxins? And he takes out the one vial that he took off of you, and he holds it. When I said you were trying to get a little bit extra profit from this one, didn't get much of a reaction from you there, Rook. What's this mean to you?
Kyle, would you mind if I set a DC for a party roll? Because I just rolled deception and it was pretty dang low. And I feel like
go ahead.
There's some real chance for insight to pick something up on.
Is this
Sure,
the
look
vial
here.
that he's flicking? The empty vial?
Yeah, he was holding this vial of the antitoxin, the 10th one that he had found on Rook's
The empty
spot.
one.
Yeah. No, it's not empty. It's got the antitoxin in it.
Oh, I thought you said he took it.
Oh, I thought
There
he had
were-
taken it.
I thought
There were a case of 10, one missing, one was on
He
my
had-
person.
Oh, it was
Gotcha.
one empty
Oh.
spot in the case.
I think Kyle probably said he took it, he took it from the case,
Yeah.
but I thought it meant he took it from the case and took
And like
the
took
fucking
it, took
shot.
the medicine.
Yeah, like,
No.
I thought he was like saving himself, like vaccinating himself.
that's exactly
Okay.
how I took it. So.
Yeah.
If we need to go
Okay.
back to the recording last time, I'm not gonna put that in there in case it's really confusing for the viewers, but or the listeners. But
they'll figure
yes,
it
no,
out in
he
2
took
weeks
it
after
and
they have
had a vial on his person,
Cool.
and it's a vial. You wouldn't be able. I mean, you could drink it, but it needs a needle injection. So.
Oh.
Yes. So Buckworth is standing there and holding the vial in his
Are we
hand.
rolling insight to see if Bones is what the fuck
Yeah,
he's
I would
hiding or what? I'm
Love
ready.
to
Go
Ready.
ahead.
try that.
Yeah, everyone roll an insight check.
Anyone who cares to pay attention to Rook.
Anyone who wants to know what's going on.
Crum might be looking at his own hands or something. I'm not sure. I don't want to decide for Swain.
Crumb's trying to decide which hand looks more real.
Hugh got a nat 20, which becomes a 16 because our DM's a big bully pants.
I rolled a 2.
Valley got a 19.
I also got a 19.
All right, and Tyr got an 18.
Okay, everyone clears Rook's deception roll except Crum over there, who they're both looking. Who knows? You all would see that like when Buckworth, taunts him with this individual vial, Rook kind of quickly covers his face with a smile, but in that moment before he pulls it together and has that smug look on his face, you see like a real reaction of heat, of anger, of irritants, that this taunt like was entirely effective and kind of threw me off my game for a bit. But yeah, I recover quickly, and Rook just kind of looks at this guy through the bars and leans back against the back wall of the jail cell, and it's just like, Buckworth, how many times have I tried explaining to you what the gang is doing? You know it's all bad. You know you don't like it to begin with. I could tell you the nicest story in the world and you'd still find reason to keep me locked up. You got me. Don't even worry about it.
He passed that check as well. He had him roll that insight check too. He says, and he tosses the vial up, and it falls, and it looks like it's gonna fall to the ground. He's gonna try and catch it.
Ah, Jesus.
And he does. He catches it.
Yeah, I'll keep the same roll on that. Like, I think Rook just like barely just kind of sits up straighter as it falls, and then tries to seem relaxed again when it avoids hitting the ground.
Huh. All right. Well, I'm gonna stay in here and keep an eye on this guy tonight here. You all can make your way to the Sawdust Inn saloon. Probably find a room there tonight. What do you think, Valley Jack? There's enough rooms in that saloon for all these folks?
I think we could put them up if they want to sleep there.
I don't think Hugh's making it to the carriage tomorrow at this state. I think y'all look like you need some rest.
You worry about yourself, sir. I will be just fine either way.
You seemed to be doing fine when he kicked you into that cell moments ago.
Yeah. My feet work just fine.
I kind of like quietly, like not looking at Rook. Should we not maybe keep another person? I mean, he's gotten out of jail before, right? Or
Oh, I'm not leaving.
okay, I didn't want to leave with that.
My house is the stables, so I ain't far.
And if we want, it's not cozy, but we got some extra cells. We'll leave the doors open for you. You can go sleep in a real bed if you want to.
You hear a mumble, and there is like there's someone sleeping in the third cell in that room that is like on the floor with a blanket.
Who's that guy?
Do they look
I wanna
friendly?
know.
Nice.
Well, if you're visiting, you might as well stay in a cell.
Hugh gets
full
very
experience.
squeamish at the thought of being in a tight cell like that with his size. It makes him very uncomfortable to think about
Not to
stepping
be like a
inside there.
diva bard, but I don't know if I really.
You know, he needs to
Sleeping in
sober
the
up
jail
sometimes, lays down there.
I think that a strong night's rest would be best for our group, in these unfamiliar surroundings. We're coming fresh off of another adventure. We haven't had a moment to pause, so the saloon, I think, would really be appropriate for us, as long as we know Valley Jack is here to watch the prisoner.
Yeah, I trust Valley Jack. What are we gonna do with whiskey?
Should we ask him? Want me to speak with Dad?
I mean, maybe. Do you guys know what he would have wanted?
Did he have family? Did he have any sort of place he would like to be buried?
Can we, Kyle, can we roll something and see if we remember or know anything about?
How open a book is whiskey?
There's also Inky whiskey is standing right there too. So
Does Inky
can't
whiskey
talk,
have the
but-
knowledge of whiskey?
he can't talk and he doesn't know anything, but he
Inky Whiskey's just pointing at all of his tattoos, but like we can't see them, and he's just doing that constant like, hey, the tic-tac-toe thing.
I hope that his tattoos are inverted and they just look like flesh.
Crum, you, I'm not going to make you roll for it. Crum, you remember at one point in the bar, Whiskey, you guys are talking about existential life and death. I think you were trying to figure out life and death, maybe your own, with your own existential thoughts. And it somehow came up that Whiskey said he was always prepared with a letter of last, that he would carry on his person if anything ever happened to him.
Oh, he's not carrying that. We know that full well.
I check all his pockets.
Okay.
I make it look like I'm just robbing him.
You pull out a sealed letter. It just says the last will and rights of Whiskey Waltz. And you open it
What
up.
do you think about that, Valley?
You open it up, and the first one, it's a numbered list, and the one first on the list says, "To the son of a bitch who killed me, I give my middle finger." And then,
do I chop it off?
Yeah, is there a cool tattoo on there?
number 2, I don't got shit else. And then number 3, as my last wish, on my ass there is a tattoo that says expiration date. Please fill in the correct date and burn my body, dig it in a hole, and bury it down in the earth, just like the dwarves would have wanted.
Burn your body and bury it? The fuck?
Do one of you three want to tattoo his butt? I don't feel like doing it.
Well, I do have a magic
do
phoenix
it.
quill that can fill in.
Seems like this
It
might
doesn't
be
really
a-
write. It kind of like burns the page. It might work
really-
on his butt. I
It really
mean,
seems a shame to tattoo him and then burn him.
Well,
But that's what he
it's kind of
wanted.
like a twofer, right? You
Burning is a
burn them
gift
and
to
then-
the fire spirits. His soul will live on with them, so I think it is appropriate.
I will pull out my little phoenix fill. But like, what is today's date?
We all look to Kyle.
Buckworth tells you.
Yeah.
Buckworth tells you the date.
I burn in
Which
the date with my phoenix quill on his ass.
It's like a dream clocks. You can't see them or whatever.
Kyle, can I rip off like some of like the bloodied clothing from Whiskey and just like wrap it around as like bracers?
Sure, but around yourself.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can do that.
something to remember them by. Remember what we're here
All
for.
right.
If when we're ready, I can pretty easily then also produce flames, to burn his body somewhere if we want to.
Oh, maybe not inside the.
Yeah, I'll say take him out if you're gonna do that.
I will carry him outside.
But I'll definitely take him to burn him somewhere if we're doing that.
Good. You have a nice ceremony where you burn his body and find a place in the Violet Creek Cemetery to together dig a grave for old whiskey and he finds his final resting place in the ground where he so desired. You walk past the saloon or walk past the sheriff's office, and you see you hear a voice. You guys look like you might have worked up a bit of an appetite there. And you see an old woman holding a big pot of soup. Oh yeah. You heading to the saloon? We can have a bite to eat.
What's she wearing?
Oh my
gosh. She is a little bit more dressed up than last time you saw her. She's got some red lipstick on.
Oh, all right.
A little rouge on her cheeks.
And she looks mostly looking at Crum and walks over to the saloon, and you guys come together and have a nice meal before going to bed. And let's see how the soup tastes. Less than average, unfortunately. Not the best.
She shook from...
Yeah, it was a big day.
I got a 15 on my deception to tell her that this soup is marvelous. It's truly the best soup I've ever had.
She rolled terrible on perception.
Before Valley goes back to the sheriff's office, he just like pulls some Tiro real quick and it's just like, hey, Edith and Crum got something going on. She's got a sister if you're interested, but like,
all right,
don't get in the way of anything.
I think Crum prestidigitates the pot of stew to flavor it better.
I rolled insight for Namby to see if she could figure out if Imtiro was lying, and I rolled really bad. I got a 10. So I think Imtiro really likes this terrible soup.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna roll for Hugh because he's not insightful at all, and he was very heartbroken because Hugh's made Imtiro soup before, and this is very, very sad.
His opinion means nothing now.
But my soup was not this bad, was it?
He didn't say it was bad. He said it wasn't great. Okay.
I know, but Hugh has taste buds. He knows it's not good.
Well, I'm saying it's. You all are
Kyle,
phrasing it like it's awful soup. Kyle just said it was like not the best soup. Yes.
I just assume less than average in like a Western setting is not good.
It's not good at all.
All right.
It's also there's not much better out here. So
statistically speaking,
scrawling in a notebook. Mention soup to incite tension amongst the group.
This is the turmoil Kyle wanted to create.
I don't know that they're feeling that way about what I said, so I'm not going to address it.
Tiro doesn't seem to notice.
Valley Jack, tell him you don't have to worry. I have no interest in Enid. I'm not into fan fiction. That's really more Huguenard's area. So in that way.
I know if he's sketching tonight.
Oh, no. Add it to your list.
That way.
Add something to your character list.
There we go.
Yeah,
roll for
Enid
it.
to the character
I'm serious. Add her to the list.
We better get Enid showing up with a soup pot to fight somebody at some point.
Gosh.
Okay. As you guys settle down, what do you guys anything special your character does to settle down? Valley Jack, let's start with you. I think you're heading back to the.
I'm heading back to the sheriff's station. I don't want to. I do not like that Levi went so easy, and these marshals showed up right at the right time for all that, and Corlin Highland isn't dead. And so I am keeping an eye on Rook, keeping an eye on the marshals, seeing if anything happens. Probably just sitting behind my desk or whatever, like feet up, catching some winks at some points, but staying vigilant, not letting anyone talk or try to do anything in here without it getting past me.
Okay. You see Tannenbaum kind of walks in the back and finds a bed in the back, and Buckworth is kind of sitting in there. Grabs a chair from your desk and kind of props himself there, and it looks like he's already, when you walk in, he's got like the blanket out there, but he's gonna be kind of sitting there, and he's got his hat on and maybe looking to tip it down, and says, you want first shift or second if you're gonna stay in here, I guess?
I'll be taking first.
And so he tips his hat down to fall asleep. And you can see he's got the vial in his hand, and he is.
Where's the case at?
The case is in the room as well. The case is in the room, but you can see he's looking at Rook, and kind of looks like he really is treating this as his kind of prize and edge on Rook at this point. Everybody else, what do you guys do before you go to sleep?
Before Valley Jack heads out, Hugh takes the little badge off of his jacket and kind of like looks across the street towards where the marshals are, and says, Mr. Jack, I don't think I respect you and Crum a lot, but I don't think I want this badge anymore. If it ties me to those people. Kind of lost its fun after a little bit. I know this is your real life and not a story like it is to us, but then I kind of just respectfully like slide it across the bar.
Yeah, I think Valley looks at that and looks up at Hugh. Goes like, I'd be lying if I'd say that thought hasn't crossed my mind every single day. I see these marshals. And, I think there's something good to be done here. I think y'all well know that sometimes a hero needs to stand up, fight for, defend, bring violence even to save the people, stop the bad guy. And it's complicated right now. And I understand wholeheartedly if you don't feel like you got what it takes. Not you don't got what it takes. That makes it sound like it's a failing on your part. No. It doesn't have what it takes for you to do it. I get that.
Thank you, sir. I'm still gonna help. I just...
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Hugh's gonna head up, and then I'm gonna wait till see what the other two want, but yeah, I'm gonna do a discussion in our bunk beds that I imagine we have up in our room.
Bunk beds?
Bunk beds?
That's what I want. A triple
like
set.
there's 5 open rooms, and you guys just cram into one room.
I swear, I could have got you bunk beds in a cell if that's what you wanted. But y'all are too good for that.
Hugh was specifically I don't know if I want to be cramped up. It's let's just all sleep in one shared room,
No,
though.
I don't mind this. I didn't like the enclosedness of the potential of the door closing on the cell. That made me real nervous. I'm a little claustrophobic.
Yeah, Namby is incredibly anxious because she hates confrontation, and she tried to say something to Rook. She kind of stood up for herself, but that confrontation has really got her anxiety going, and she's just going over that conversation again in her brain of oh, I could have said that. I should have said that. Actually, that would have been better. Or maybe they took it the wrong way, and I said I took out Jeb and Joe, and maybe everyone thinks that I'm just really full of myself, and that she's just kind of in an anxiety spiral in her brain. So
Namby's
she's
me after every recording.
I know. Yeah. Too real, Brooke. Too real. Literally after every recording.
Yeah. So she has a necklace that she always wears that is, it looks like it's kind of got a magic to it, but it also serves as a kind kind of fidget, like an anxious fidget for her. So it's got like a little thing that she can twirl at the end. So she's just like, you can tell that she's definitely like in her head and is just like going a little crazy on her necklace.
Yeah, Imtiro, I think, is ready to go up and get some sleep. He got shot earlier, so he's feeling kind of shitty. I'll look to Namby and just be like, breathe, my friend. You're doing wonderfully.
Sometimes I forget.
And when I get up to bed, if we're sharing bunks, that's fine. Wherever I'm sleeping, all Imtiro's doing is what he always does, like at the end of the day, he writes out like a letter of everything that happened in the day. Basically the recap that he read, he writes out like to himself, and then afterward he burns the paper.
The bunk beds was me, Becca, panicking, not being able to remember what beds are. You don't have to sleep in bunk beds.
Nope, you said it.
It's canon now.
You said it, and therefore it is canon.
Yeah, you're in bunk beds. That's for sure. Did you say you wanted to have a talk with them in their bunk beds?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's dead quiet, and Hugh is wanting to bring something up.
It's that sleepover thing where no one can fall asleep and you're giggling.
I'd love the top bunk because I can just hop up there.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I
He
feel
was
like
actually just sleeping on the floor because he doesn't fit in the bed. There's no way.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, like, it feels like Namby and I would have to share a bed, so okay, good. I'm doing, you know, like when somebody's reading in bed and they have like the little book light. I'm just doing that with like a finger that's on fire, like as I'm writing.
Amazing.
that's cool.
Yeah, so he was just laying on the floor. He doesn't fit anywhere ever, so he is used to this.
You fit in with us, Huguenot.
Thanks, Imtiro. And he's trying to fall asleep because he feels so sick with his 2 levels of exhaustion, just like laying there. Everything hurts. He feels unwhole, but he cannot get his brain to quiet. Seeing everything from the memories that the ooze pulled to then Whiskey's death and everything. So he's doing that like thing that little kids do when they're like falling asleep and they're just like aggressively flipping around back and forth. And then finally he kind of he sits up and he looks up. Have you guys ever lost anyone?
You mean like as someone we know
like
died?
A real someone, have you ever had someone like real mattered die before?
I haven't actually. My family's all still alive. I know my grandparents. I guess I'm lucky.
That's awesome. I'm glad you have them.
No, I don't. I'm feeling very tired, so I would rather not talk about this.
And Tira puts out his finger light and lays down. I'm not going to talk about this.
Sorry. Yeah,
No,
no.
you're fine.
And he casts, Tira casts Calm Emotions to make everybody fall asleep faster. It's a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point that I choose. I think it's really meant to end like a charm to frighten effect, but you know, just
yes, this calms your emotions,
just trying to get everybody's
including your
mind
own,
to rest.
including your own. Which if Imtiro is having a emotional reaction to that question, then it will help calm your own emotions as you settle down.
It's a good question, Hugh, but I
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't.
I prefer not to think
asked.
about the fires that have gone out right now.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
Crum, you said your bed is in the stable.
Yeah, I was curious about that too.
Where are you
In the
sleeping?
stable.
Next to Crum too.
Yeah.
Good.
That's awesome.
Are you the big spoon or the little spoon?
Is it bunk beds?
We have separate stables.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Bunk bed stables? Oh.
Yeah. I'm above Crum too.
I was really hoping the horse was on the top bunk. So just
We tried it.
Just for a change in like a relationship.
He just couldn't fall asleep up there, so we
He's
switched.
afraid of heights.
Okay.
They got one of those New York City car parks in this town where they can like stack cars vertically. Like just bring your horse right up here. We'll get it in there.
Yeah, Valley can do that. Valley built that up. There's a nice little simple machine system to make the ramp go up.
As you all drift off to sleep, except for Valley Jack, who you lay awake and see Rook, you trying to get some rest as well.
Yeah, I'm like lying on my back on that little bench, got my hat over my eyes, and just
it's the coolest
hands
way
on
for
my
a bad guy
chest.
to sleep.
The classic outlaw asleep in a prison cell trope, as we all know.
Valley, you stay up during your shift and hear snoring in the back room as Tannenbaum is fast asleep out of this room, and Buckworth is sitting in your chair with his hat tipped forward as well, sleeping. And you start to get tired. You realize it's time for you to wake up Buckworth. If you were to keep staying up, you would be getting a level of exhaustion to stay up all night, if that was your plan.
All the cool kids have them.
You are getting tired. Nothing eventful has happened.
Yeah, I think Valley Jack, the sheriff never sleeps, still kind of ruminating on the stuff Hugh was saying too. Like, I think Valley is going to feel himself getting tired, get up from his chair, kind of walk around a little bit, drink some of that cold water. Hopefully it's still a little bit cold. Throw it on his face and sit down for another few hours of keeping an eye on stuff.
So you're going to stay up through the night?
Yeah.
Okay. So you will have the one level of exhaustion as the sun comes up.
Can I get rid of one of mine?
Yes, you can. Yep. And I was just looking up the levels of exhaustion, the exhaustion rules for 2024 for you. Because that's what we're using the exhaustion
What if they're
rules.
way worse?
They're just simplified. It's your level of exhaustion times 2 for like at all the D20s. So you'll have a -2 to all your D20 rolls. And then you also have a reduction in speed equal to your level of exhaustion times 5. So less than 5 for us now.
Ooh.
Okay.
You know why I know that? Because I've had levels of exhaustion for forever.
So the sun comes up in Valley, it hits you in the eyes, and Buckworth, and he wakes up and sees, and he's a little bit perturbed that you stayed up all night, but he shrugs it off. I got a good night's sleep. Hey, Rook, you got a good night's sleep? And he bangs against the jail cell. Got a big day ahead of us.
Rook still has his hat over his eyes, but he's fully awake and doesn't jolt or start from that or anything like that. I think he'll just kind of calmly sit up and do like a dramatic stretch and yawn kind of thing. Yeah, Buckworth. What route we taking to Constance? What's the plan?
Let's get all together. We'll tell the plan to the whole crew. Why would I tell you the plan? Stay in here. I'm gonna get ready here. And he's still a little bit sleepy. And he
just want to know where I can meet you in case we get separated.
Yeah, of course you do. And he stands up and he flicks the vial up in the air and catches it. And
Stop doing that.
Fuck. You're gonna break it. I'm gonna take that away from you, Buckworth.
I love Mtiro not in the scene. That's just Scott stressing out.
What are you doing? There's only 10 of them. This is
9. We only have 9.
Well, there are
10
he's
now.
holding the 10th, right? The one he keeps tossing.
Yeah, he's holding the 10th, yeah.
Oh, when you said that earlier, I thought you meant one was fully missing and then a different, like a.
Jesus Christ!
Okay.
This was the least clear vial of vaccine.
I thought it was so straightforward. It's so not.
There's just going to be
10
like
vials.
a plain voice audio interlude right here of Kyle just being like, hey, this is just Kyle from the editing booth. There are 10 vials. 10 as of now.
10 full vials
Okay.
of antitoxin, also vaccines would be accurate to call them. and they are 10 of them that are full. Rook had taken one of them, not drank one of them, but had one that he did not drink.
No one drank anything.
Buckworth has it now, and he's been tossing it up in the air, and that's it.
If this guy tosses the vial one more time, I'm giving Bones a fork that he can use to murder him. All right.
So you guys all get around, get ready, and head out to the main street in the town. It is early in the morning. You guys knew you had to be up. Basically, sunrise is when you were going to leave. And so you get out there, you see the stagecoach there with the Gatling gun on the back. It does have a wheel, that one wheel that was magical, that ran out. How long does that last, Scott?
That
do you
is
know
done. That only lasts for 3 hours upon being created.
So that stagecoach is missing a wheel. We're in a town where there is supplies and handymen
And
ready
Valley
to go.
Jack.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so you could, easily fix up that wheel without any time, and that could be you have.
Maybe
the
that's
stagecoach
one of the
available.
things I did to stay awake last night. Going by Levi's cell, hammering together a new wheel.
And Buckworth and Tannenbaum walk out with Rook here with Rook in cuffs, with handcuffs. Buckworth says, "All right, Tannenbaum, take it away." And Tannenbaum steps out. He's built. He's pretty muscular, but he's a little bit more stout, kind of shorter. Has a mustache where Buckworth is taller, more lean physique, very muscular and clean shaven face. So Tannenbaum is the shorter guy with the mustache. Now the plan is to head west toward Constance. Now usually to go that route we'd take the long way around, but since we have a time limit, and because McCoy's men know the way, we're gonna take a little shortcut through the Calabasa Crevasse. Now everyone should be stocked up with rations and their canteens filled with water. We don't need to worry about water very much. I have a standard Marshall issue bag of water holding. Contains about 60 gallons, which is more than enough. And he slaps the bag, and it's like a bag of holding that just has a nozzle canteen thing on the end of it.
That's fun.
Different version of slap the bag than I've played before.
Yeah.
60 gallons of water.
You might know how to turn that water into wine.
Yeah, any questions?
I wouldn't do the crevasse.
How would you do it, Rook? Maybe go around where your men, McCoy's men, could catch up with us. Maybe we have a picnic out there on the plains.
No, I mean, you know why we shouldn't. We can still make time. We'll get the train, but bad
What's
idea.
wrong with the crevasse?
Tannenbaum, why don't you tell him?
The crevasse. The crevasse is a gorgeous valley. And
Is it a gorge or a crevasse?
It's a gorgeous valley. Not to be confused with Valley Jack. I'm just calling it a valley.
The gorgeous Valley Jack.
The gorgeous Valley Jack. He's not calling you gorgeous. This is not good. This is not happening.
That's the new ship that I'm sketching in my journal.
He says, "Doesn't matter about the crevasse. It's a great place to pass through, and the railroad wanted to go through there one year, but we had to clear it out, and so back then we cleared it out. It's all clear, and so I don't know what you're concerned about there, Rook, but we ain't listening to you. No way in hell."
Can I roll insight on
Yeah.
both these?
Sure, roll insight.
Ooh, now I only have
Hell
to
yeah.
-2.
Nat 20.
-2?
Ooh, -2.
22 is my insight.
Okay.
Hugh got a 16.
Okay. I say for Hugh, you can't necessarily tell between the two anything more. But Valley, you can tell. You see a look of genuine concern in Rook, and genuine arrogance in Tannenbaum.
I'm being a little obtuse by not explaining further, but there wasn't any BS in the original advice.
So let's get rolling then. I guess we can put put you, Rook, I guess, inside the stagecoach.
Anybody get my gun? I put it down out here last night. What? Nobody pick it up? Come on.
And Buck said, I got your gun right here. And he packs it. He'd be like,
I thought he was going to pass it over.
I got it right here. He pats his bag.
This is why I don't trust these guys.
It's safe with me, Rook.
I don't like this, but I feel we trust the murderer who is trying to escape. I feel we have no choice but to go with the marshals, and I feel that with the power combined of all these fierce warriors, there's nothing that can stand in our way.
You're
Namby
damn right
sees
you should trust the
everything.
marshals.
Yeah. You're making me less want to trust the marshals.
Can I, if I can like pull some of the squad into like away from the marshals for a second, I'm like, hey, can we grab a bag from the sheriff's office? Help me with this. And I'm just gonna be like, I do have this fear, right? Why are these marshals here right now? Why is Levi going to them so easy? Levi's scared of the crevasse for some reason, for real. The marshals, they're foolhardy. And I damn well they're foolhardy. I feel like we should try to get Rook to talk. Now, I don't know if I've got what it takes in me anymore this morning to shake something out of him. But if some of you have the ability to try to get him to talk.
I fear what talking to a man like that might do, though.
I can do it. I'm pretty good at it. I can try. I mean, sometimes just
all we
be
can
in
do
there.
is try.
I can maybe sit with him.
I'll gladly help, but I just think we should be wary of any sort of mistrust he might try to sow in us. He's clearly keeping his cards very close to the vest and has more up his sleeve for us than we might even be able to imagine.
I don't trust the marshals or Rook, so I mean, I'll keep
Rook's
an eye on
already
him.
tried to trick us 3 ways, 3 different times. He had his Dragonborns tell us one thing, to trick us to go do something. He may very well be telling us not to go in the gorge so that we do go in the gorge no matter what.
It seems to me
You guys, what are you guys doing in there? Ready to go?
one moment. There's a prisoner
Tannenbaum moved
who's-
all of my stuff. Where's that bag that was in that back room, Tannenbaum?
It seems as though we have no choice but to travel with the 3 of them. We're not going, unless you are willing to act against the marshals, we have no choice but for them to come along, and they will not agree to a plan that is not theirs. But what I do know is I trust the 5 people here, and I trust that with our combined efforts, we can cut off any attempts at sabotage off at the pass. And so we just all need to be on high alert.
Keep an eye on those vials. Y'all.
Yeah, maybe I can look at one at some point if I'm on the carriage or something. I'm pretty good with like medicine type stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to figure
underselling
it
it, Namby. You're a genius.
out. Okay, I don't know about that, but I can take a look at it.
You're also really watchful, so you could keep a good eye to make sure none of them go missing. And no one can sneak things past you.
I'll take off my hat so my ears are extra alert.
She gets advantage when the hat is off, right?
Yeah, right, Kyle? I'm not taking my hat off because I have hat hair, but Namby's taking off her hat.
It's more disadvantage with the hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can sit with Rooks and just be careful. We know what he's trying to do. I mean, we don't know, but we know we can't trust him, so I'll
He's
be careful.
slippery.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, here's that bag you were looking for, Sheriff.
Wow, good job.
Let's get moving. And that's Corlin Highland. Old man Corlin Highland is there on his horse as well. And so who is going to be on their horses? Who's planning to like ride on the stagecoach? The stagecoach needs a driver, and the other, you guys need horses basically. So yeah, who's gonna be on horses? Who's gonna be on stagecoach?
I'd like to be on this stagecoach, and if either of the marshals are not, I'd like to maybe talk to them before we get on and ask to see one of the vials, so that I can look at it while we're moving.
Okay.
I think Hugh is going to ride with Rooks in the stagecoach.
Inside.
If there's
Rooks
space,
or
yeah.
Rook singular? I just have to know.
I think it's Rook.
Rook.
Oh,
Levi
just
Rook.
Rook. Oops.
This is Bones from the editing room. His name is Levi Rook. There are still 10 vials. And okay, back to you guys.
Okay, so you're gonna be in the actual carriage with him, sitting in there in the stagecoach. Okay. There probably won't be
What
much
could
room
go
for anybody
wrong?
else in there with Hugh in there and Rook.
How do we have Rook? Is he like in handcuffs?
He's in
now?
handcuffs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
Do you guys have one of those like the big iron ball that you put around like the ankle? What are those, like a ball and chain, I guess? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, literal ball and chain.
do we have one of those to put on him? Because I would feel safer if he had.
You see
one
the
of
old
those
man
on.
who like gave you those fancy guns, and he's standing in the sheriff, fresh out.
Well, that's interesting because I pull out a piece of paper. As Mtiro's looking over, he sees that the old man is mistaken, and there actually is a ball and chain in the corner. And he
Wow.
uses his
See, this is what we were looking for
creation.
so long, marshals.
You know.
There it is.
Yes. Don't worry. Of course, it was very cluttered over here. Not your fault. Probably these marshals moving things around.
Thought I had this all inventoried correctly. I guess I have to go through everything again. Okay, all right. And he hands you the ball and chain.
Great.
So,
I want to put it on Rook with the specific note that when you touch any of the things from the performance of creation, it like you're supposed to hear music, but for me, you hear kind of like fire crackling noises, and you're just gonna have to hear that for the next 3 hours, just like a little bit of fire crackling noise.
Okay.
Wait, just Rook or me too? Because I'm
Just
there
anyone
with
who's
him.
physically
Just who's
touching
touching
it.
it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So-
Well, okay.
so that is going to half your speed, Rook.
Okay.
So that'll half your speed. Okay. So we have Namby. You're on. Are you wanting to just sit on the stagecoach, like?
Yeah, I want to be outside, like definitely outside for sure, so that I can keep an eye out as well, like once
Okay.
I'm done looking at the vial.
Do you want to be on the, like on the Gatling gun kind of back of it? Because you could be on the very top, but it's not really a space for like sitting. You were up there before.
If
but-
no one else wants the Gatling gun spot, I will take that.
Okay.
Hey Kyle,
it.
real fast question. In the movie, they kept doing that lock thing. Or, like, am I just agreeing to be locked in with Rooks in this carriage, or is
No,
it?
he's just in there with his
Okay, he's
handcuffs
just
on.
in there, right? They're not
Yeah.
doing the whole chain thing, and I'm not going to be
Around the
lit
doors.
on fire.
Yeah, the doors
Okay.
are not going to be locked. You're not going to be locked in there with Rook. At
Okay,
least that's not
cool.
the marshal's plan. So.
Okay. Cool. Just wanted to check that claustrophobia was kicking in for Hugh.
Who's driving?
I'll drive. Valley'll drive. Chamfer running the carriage, maybe. I want to be able to move if I need to.
The
but-
carriage has 6 horses of its own that
Okay.
you can stock from the stable from the really large stable.
I think
So I
he
might
wants
just
to bring
have-
Chamfer with him, though.
Yeah, I want Chamfer
Okay.
nearby. I don't feel like walking right now, but
Okay.
yeah. But I
Okay.
want to drive.
All right. If you're too tired to drive, I drive, or if Namby doesn't want to do the Gatling gun, I would do it. I don't have a preference for either. I'm fine with just riding a horse next to the wagon.
Okay, so Tiro, you got a horse, and Crum, are you on Crum too?
Of course.
And how's that 2 spelled for the listeners at home? Just so we know.
Yeah, T-O. Is it? Which one was it? T-O-O?
The horse is TOO.
Yeah, it's
the group is Crum too.
Crum
the number.
also.
Hey guys, this is Becca. There are 10 vials. Rook is singular, no S, and the horse is TOO.
If you want to, those who have a horse, keep track of your horse HP. I would like you to keep track of it. Each horse has 13 HP.
5,000
No, let's do
HP.
Bones' rules. The horses
When
are
Bones
fine.
DMs, yeah, the horses can't get hurt when Bones does it.
Oh no, the red goo. Everything's worse now. Oh, the reality has changed. Horses die.
This is bullshit.
All right. So you all head out together on your horses and the carriage out of Violet Creek as the sun is rising. The air is chilly, but the sun's coming up. You start to feel that heat, and you ride for about an hour, taking in the western landscape, keeping an eye out on the horizon for any signs of threats. You don't notice anything. Namby, go ahead and roll a medicine check. Medicine or investigation, I guess. But
Okay.
I think medicine's probably
Medicine is
a
much
check.
better
I mean,
for
you're
me. Oh
checking
my
medicine.
gosh. I have not rolled over a 5 today.
Except
That-
for this roll?
Is a
Silver bars.
That's an 11.
It looks like a serum. Looks like a it looks like a medicine.
Yep.
Nothing specific about it really. And so you it's a red liquid. It's got a reddish tint to it. That you can see.
How do I remove curse on a sickness? All right. Well,
On
anyway.
a sickness? Okay.
Yeah, no, that's just because I'm like, well, I've used remove curse before.
Well,
I don't know how
last time we just beat the crap out of the people with the red ooze, so let's
Right.
just do that to the children, right? A solution.
Roll for initiative.
Just hold still, kiddos. It'll be over soon.
Becca, I did your thing. I did your pre-session ritual, and it sucks.
And it only works for Becca.
It only works
Listen,
for Becca.
that's what you get for stealing someone's ritual. Things are sacred.
Well, you shared it. Okay.
I
anyway.
actually forgot to do it today, which is probably why I've been rolling like crap.
So you guys ride for about an hour, taking in the western landscape, and I need your marching order actually. So I need everybody's kind of the order of where the horses are. Marshal Tannenbaum is going to be leading the front, and Marshal Buckworth will be in the back.
Does he still have his vial throwing
Yes.
up back there?
Yeah, he has the vial. You haven't seen him. He doesn't have it out while he's riding, but you know
Okay, good.
that the vial is not in the case that you have with you guys.
You made sure to take the seat so he's facing forward in the carriage so he doesn't get motion sick, and he is 100% making Rook sit backwards in the carriage.
I was gonna ask. I figured that would be the case, but I wanted to clarify.
100%. Like if Rook tried to sit in the forward-facing seat, it would be like that sibling thing where you body check them out of the way so that they have to get into it.
Put your butt down first. You're like, no.
And I do this. No.
I just know Mtira would be in the middle so that I have the most ability to say things and give people inspiration and everyone can hear me and be in range.
Crum, would you be in the front? Well, you can pick in front of or behind the wagon, and or Mtira, you could pick one of those.
Crum's probably behind the wagon.
Okay. So I'll put Mtira before the carriage, like where the thing, or you could ride alongside of it. This is a trail. It's not like we don't have to be single file here. There are parts of it that you would want to be single file, but in this area you can be wide at this part.
If I'm behind it, I can see Hugh, right?
Yes.
And can I see
Well,
Namby?
Hugh's facing forward in the.
He's right next to the coach, is like right next to me so that we
Except
can...
for when we needed to be single file. I don't want to be in front of it if it means I can't see your back or anything. If I need to be able to see you to cast a spell or something.
Well, and
you
the
know?
Gatling gun,
Like-
I think, is near the back of the carriage, which is where I am. So you being behind it would probably make sense.
Well, for right now, I'll just be next to it. But when we get into single file, I would be behind it. That's fine.
Gotcha.
As Crum heads out ahead of us, I look to Crum and go like, hey, while we were looking in the sheriff's office, I found this, and I toss you the bull oak necklace that you had 5 years ago. It's the Hill rune, advantage on poison, resistance, like a rage, as a bonus action once per short rest.
Sick.
And we still have the things you gave us last time, right?
Yes. Namby and Mtiro do. I don't know if you meant this when Hugh gave me the badge back.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought I had a tortoiseshell thing.
That's what I thought you were giving me back.
Oh no, my tortoise. I mean, yeah. I guess I did give it back. I didn't think about that. It's okay.
No, okay. I thought that was. I was like, ooh, that's a cool move to just be like. No,
I
I
don't
wondered
think
why you
that.
suddenly
It's way
had a
more
fourth
hardcore.
thing you could give out to Swain.
Yeah. I was
Makes
just like,
sense now, if I could give it
mechanically,
back.
like,
yeah.
maybe you don't need a rage. I don't know Hugh's character sheet. You're not that exhausted anymore. You don't need this.
That
Sorry, Hugh.
exhausted.
That's what you get for being a quitter.
Just a little exhausted.
In Hugh's exhaustion, he didn't understand what he was giving.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
he was so tired.
Yeah.
So we can keep that. Yeah, I mean, if you clearly player didn't know what they're doing. But do you want to keep it, or do you want to say it was a star that you had, or what? I don't have an opinion either way, I guess. But
You're just
Keep it for
taking something
ability's
away
sake.
from Swain if you decide you want your turtle shell
yeah,
back.
let's keep it then. Okay, yeah. So okay,
What?
so Swain gets.
He was asking if you are fine
so
with
yeah,
it being
there's a finite
gone.
amount. Yeah, give it to
Okay.
Swain. Yeah.
All right. Hi, guys. This is Brooke. So actually, what happened?
There's 10 vials. Okay, that's first.
10
So Charlie
vials.
is playing a Rune Knight Fighter. This is not a 2024 subclass. This is actually a little bit older, but he's got things to give out.
Yeah, let's cut this out so that Becca and Hugh look real hardcore, being like, I don't need this. I'm above the law.
I definitely would have cut it out before you said it would make you look hardcore to cut it out. Now it's
Hugh has very, very rare instances of looking hardcore as he's just crying all the time and very
Hugh
sick.
never looks hardcore when he nat 20s on
Yeah.
every single attack and does 60 fucking damage like without even trying.
Okay, everything's figured out, and yeah,
10 vials.
Got it. The horses are in line. Tannenbaum's in front. Behind him is the old man Corlin Highland, and then the stagecoach driven by Valley Jack, with Hugh and Rook in the middle of the stagecoach and Namby on the back on the Gatling gun. Crum right behind, followed by Buckworth, and Mtiro is on the side, riding alongside the stagecoach. You guys continue forward through the Western Plain, and your horses start to slow down. Tannenbaum, you look up and you see the horse slows down. Everybody kind of starts to slow, and the horses seem to be having a harder time going through this terrain. And you hear Corlin, damn it. The river flooded over here a week ago. Looks like the mud's still drying. And the stagecoach comes to a halt in the mud. And everybody needs to roll a strength check for your horses. Not the stagecoach, but everybody who's riding a horse needs to roll a strength check for your horses to see if they are going to stay out of the mud. And so that is a +3 modifier that your riding horse is going to have.
There's always a river, is what I'm going to say.
I'm stronger than a horse.
Isn't that the problem?
As always.
Okay.
Tannenbaum, you see his horse is able to get out of the mud. Corlin's horse is not and appears to be stuck in the mud. Mtiro,
I got a 22 on my
22. Your horse is on top of the mud, prancing, just not even.
I'm like whispering affirmations in its ear, you know. It's all Impero's positivity. Yes, beautiful galloping. You prance like a champion. Even Chamfer is jealous of you.
What?
Crum,
16.
16. Your horse is able to get out of the mud as well, and Buckworth's horse is as well. You see Corlin's horse just like the only horse other than the stagecoach just stuck in the mud.
He's got Cassie's horse. Sorry, it was fucked up and weird looking.
I forgot about it. Suddenly you see the mud around Corlin's horse rise up and grab hold of the horse and try to pull it down into the mud. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh shit.
And take Corlin, not the horse.
Yeah, honestly.
The rules have changed.
Leave that horse.
Man, I feel like I sort of understand the sort of classic D&D advice of just like, don't have like evil characters in the party. Don't be antagonistic towards each other. It does muddy things, but at the same time, I'm having an insanely fun time. And every time one of you is like, I don't trust that character, I'm like, I don't know why, but go off. It's extremely entertaining.
Okay, Namby, what was yours?
I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And Hugh?
15.
15. And Crum?
4.
4. Mtiro?
22.
22. And Valley Jack?
18 minus 2 for 16.
16. Levi?
26.
26. Okay. Levi, you are going to be first on this, and you can't really tell what's happening because you're inside the stagecoach, and you know that things are slowed down. You hear something grab a horse and a whinny, and that's about it. That's all you know.
I think Hugh sitting across from me just sees Levi kind of, with a sort of entertained expression on his face, sort of just like I lean out, kind of look out one of those little slim windows in the stagecoach and just try to get a sense of what's going on, but ultimately just kind of going like, oh, what's happening? And I think I'm not going to do anything on my turn. I think I will observe.
I can just picture exactly Russell Crowe just kind of sitting forward, looking.
I can picture the Russell Crowe face perfectly.
Just observing, but not doing it, taking any action, calm.
Mtiro, you look forward, and 45 feet in front of you, this mud is grabbing this horse.
First thing, I think Mtiro's pretty startled by this mud that has started attacking this horse, so I'm just going to take like a wild shot with my volcanic at it. I've yet to fire the pistol. I just want to do it.
Okay.
Not a great shot. A 12 to hit?
12 will hit.
All right. And I had to move forward 5 feet to be within range, so I did that as well.
Okay.
Not great damage. 3 damage on
3
the mud.
damage, all right.
And then assuming that this horse is gonna get another chance to get out on its turn, me the player, I'm gonna give bardic inspiration to the horse. I'm gonna
excellent.
You can do this, my friend. You must fight for your life. And
excellent. Okay. It's got a bardic.
It's got a bardic on its.
Is there some sort of mechanic like the command spell where they have to understand what you're saying to receive it or something?
I don't think so. He's got a bardic.
That's good. Perfect.
You inspire that horse, my man.
Great. So you shoot, you fire volcanic gun, boom, goes into the mud. Tannenbaum in front turns around and he is going to trot his horse forward 5 feet and take out his gun and shoot down at the mud as well. And he will hit twice. And shoots twice and rips through a good amount of the mud on his attack. Much more damage than you did. Everybody, whoever's watching, with his gun. Namby, you are up.
Okay. Would I be able to tell if this mud is a creature or not?
Yes, it looks like a creature.
Okay. I'm going to use just Sacred Flame and make them do a Dex save 15.
It fails.
Mud is pretty
Awesome.
dexterous, right?
So dexterous.
All right, wonderful. 2d8. Let's see. 5. 5 radiant damage to the mud.
Okay, the Sacred Flame hits it and hardens some of the mud as this like radiant energy hits it, and it's really looking like half as good as it already did. And it is its turn. And so it already has the horse grappled at this point. And so it doesn't need to make another check. And you see the horse get dragged downward, sinking into the mud 5 feet. And Corland is on top, and he jumps off into the mud as I'll let him move just a little bit because he's not going to be taken in. But the horse is now completely submerged except for one hoof out of the mud. And that is its turn. Valley Jack, you're up.
Kyle, if you pull a never-ending story on us, I'm going to be
What's the never-ending story?
traumatized again.
Oh my gosh.
Our
I'm
team
exactly that kid telling the horse to not give up. Oh no.
I've seen Neverending Story once.
In the movie, there's a part where they're in like the swamp of despair or something, and the horse slips into like a sinkhole, and he's like, "Don't give up! You have to go, or you'll die!" And like the horse just fucking sinks into the ground.
Not to mention, it's a kid sort of leaping into a story he reads in a book, right?
Yeah, it is exactly that.
So Valley Jack, you see this mud like go up to the side of this horse and just drag it down, and like it falls on its side, and there's a hoof up as it sinks in, and that's all you can see is one hoof out of the ground at this point.
How is the carriage also? You were saying it was kind of stuck in the mud?
The carriage is just
like
stuck. You don't see any movement around the carriage, around the horses that are there.
Okay. And how far is this from me, the horse?
The horse
the mud
is...
monster?
Yeah, the horse is 35 feet away from you.
35 feet away from me. That's not good for me. Around the carriage, we're stuck in the mud right now, right? How big is the carriage? How much would you say the carriage weighs about?
How much the carriage weighs? I have no clue. How much a stagecoach weighs?
I think I had a stagecoach stat block from the time I ran Maleficent 7, which I have open in Roll20 right now.
Wow.
That'd be great if it has a weight.
I googled
An average
stagecoach
cart weighs
weight.
2,000 pounds force, if that helps.
Yeah, I didn't write it down. Large vehicle, 10 by 10. That's about all I got.
A Concord stagecoach weighed more than 2,000 pounds, it says, according to Google. So it's heavy. It's pretty
Tracks.
heavy.
Plus, there's a half troll in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a half troll.
Excuse me, I am a delicate little flower.
Just claustrophobic.
Yeah, Hugh does not fit well in this carriage. There's no freaking way he does.
I can't really get to the bad guy. I don't like that the carriage is where it is right now.
I think I'm going to, like, pop out and try to shove the carriage out of the mud.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check to try and shove the carriage out.
That's not good. That is a 11.
It is stuck hard in this. You're gonna need the horses. You're gonna need you're gonna need a lot to get this stagecoach out. It doesn't budge, and you don't make a future DC easier. So, anything else for your turn?
This may be incredibly wasteful. Valley Jack sees the stagecoach. He's nervous about this. Valley Jack grows to a larger size, so he is now large. Mechanically, as a Goliath, he has carrying capacity of a huge thing. So his carrying capacity, his easy carrying capacity is 1,200 pounds. His easy drag push lift is 2,400 pounds.
Good.
He's going to action surge and
Amazing.
try to move this carriage again.
Okay, great.
Getting this fucking carriage out.
Yeah, fuck you, carriage.
That's amazing.
Now he has advantage on his. Okay, it's not great. That's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You shove the carriage with your might, and it moves a little bit out of the mud, and you have made progress in getting it going. It looks like it's still going to be stuck, but with that might and power, you are able to significantly make this easier for getting the stagecoach out.
You gotta use those encumbrance rules at some point if you're playing Goliath.
Great. Yes, that's amazing. And now we're at Hugh. You are inside the carriage. You can hear something going on. You can see from your window that the mud kind of moved around the horse, but you can't really see the horse because it's like directly in front. So you can tell that there's something out there happening.
Okay. I am going to touch my journal, and I am going to activate that. Who is it?
Who is it?
So 15 feet outside of the carriage, that's the max I can manifest it initially. The ink slithers out of my journal and goes across the ground and starts pooling up into the shape of a satyr that kind of wobbles back and forth. And Zaz.
Zaz.
Back from the dead.
Zaz is outside the carriage. Then it's going to run up and take attacks against the mud. I have no idea that this horse is in there, but the ink can get there, and I don't want to leave Rook by himself. So it's going to take two, I'm going to say swinging a big wineskin at the mud. I'm going to take 2 of my Warhammer attacks through Zaz.
If that satyr is singing, then it is out of tune.
I'm not a musical bard, but I don't think he is either.
So it's a 19 for the first one and an 18 for the second one.
Both are gonna hit.
Cool. So that'll be 22 magical bludgeoning.
Okay, you see as Zaz, your manifested satyr, is gonna run up, and he's got like this Jack Sparrow type run, you know, like as he runs up, and he smacks the mud with the wineskin, splashes off. This mud like splashes on some of the horses, and then he hits it again and splashes, and then the horse is able to wiggle, and you see the horse like get up and like stand up out of the mud and stands up, and the mud is done. And that is it. You guys are out of initiative, and the stagecoach is stuck, but much less stuck than it was before.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, Hugh also has a good you have a carrying capacity of a large creature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So between the two of you.
Yeah, like over 1,000 pounds. Yeah. I can.
Well, but I guess you probably don't want to get out of the carriage, though.
It's okay. Zaz is going to come and sit with Rook.
Yeah, it might make just moving the carriage significantly easier if you're
just not in it.
Not a half troll inside
and you're
of it.
pushing and not.
Honestly, Hugh's kind of excited to get out of the very confined space with the bad person, so he's gonna have Ink Zaz come and sit and just start. I mean, we all know it's like a very out of tune song that is coming out.
Yeah,
but
just a
they
discordant
can't actually
hum.
talk. Yeah.
He pours some ink out of the ink wine thing into an ink cup and like goes to like hand it to you, Brooke.
Yeah.
I reach up with both arms because I'm in handcuffs and try to take it.
he pours and it doesn't actually hit your hands, but it,
Yeah.
I'm having fun with this. I'm
magically-
sort of I think Rook is sort of fascinated by whatever this is. I think these three, he knows who Valley Jack and Crum are, but these 3 mysterious strangers are proving to be quite fascinating, so this is cool.
You hear that, listeners at home? It's
What?
interesting. Right?
You should be enjoying yourself right now. Bones said it through Rook.
Editing note, there are 10 vials and the characters are interesting.
And so the carriage is stuck. What is your plan?
I'm gonna get out and I am going to push from the back and try to just kind of like do a lift push to get it out of the rut that it probably got itself into. So I can take the back if Valley Jack wants the front, or to try to pull with the horses.
Just knowing that you're tired too, Hugh, I will obviously gonna place my hand on your shoulder. Take a deep breath, you have this, and give you bear strength with the enhanced ability, so you get advantage on strength checks.
Two exhausted people pushing the stagecoach.
Yeah.
Still gonna be better than my -1 on strength.
Same.
Two exhausted big boys pushing the carriage.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna try to push the carriage. You see the horses are trying to pull it as well and try to go out. So everybody first, all of you can roll for one of the horses. There's 6 horses. So everybody roll a d20 strength check with a +3 on it.
Can I attach the horse that has the bardic inspiration to the cart?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, you
good.
can. You can roll twice then for 2 horses and add the bardic inspiration. So Scott, you can start. Go ahead and roll your
Okay.
2 horses.
1 second. Okay. The first horse got 18, and then the one with the bardic inspiration got. Oh hell yeah! 25.
Amazing. Great.
Nice.
Becca, your horse.
Nat 20 for a 23.
Holy cow. Great.
Not -2.
Yeah, Bones, you rolled for a horse. So
I must have perfect or something because it's just a 10 even with the +3.
Okay. And Namby or Brooke.
Yeah, I got a 12.
12. And Swain.
9.
9. And Charlie.
Also 12.
12. Excellent. And Hugh, you are pushing, and Valley Jack is pushing. Hugh, give me a strength check for your, or an athletics check as you were trying to shove this, right? Because you're on the back trying to shove. Yeah.
With
You also-
advantage,
There was
right,
something with advantage, right? Somebody
Yeah,
said that?
I
Is
gave
that-
you.
okay.
I cast enhance ability on you and gave you bull strength, which gives you advantage on strength checks and also doubles your carrying capacity for bringing up those.
Oh my
encumbrance
God.
rolls.
So I can do 2,080 pounds.
Just pick this
No.
fucker up together, the two
Just-
of you. Honestly,
We are the carriage now. So my athletics check would be.
I cast silvery barbs. I'm just kidding.
It would be a 23.
23. Great.
Dang material components. Somatic.
yeah, the somatic's really gonna be hard with the handcuffs on. I feel like.
Anytime you try to move your hands, Inky Zaz tries to just slap him back down, but he's
Stop it.
it's just an
Stop
image.
it.
No,
Stop it.
You say Inky Zos is just an image, yet he just killed a monster moments ago. How do we rectify
Explain
Wow,
that.
Oh, man.
And Valley
Magic.
Jack, give me another check with a strength check for your pushing as well again.
Oof. Well, I have advantage when I'm big, so I didn't get a nat 1. Instead, I got a 3, which is going to become a 9.
that? Goodness.
Okay.
Valley's just starting to feel a little tired, guys.
Yeah, that -2's kicking in.
This is great. So the original, you needed to get a collective total of 120 on these strength checks, on these athletics checks, collectively with you guys and the horses. With the Valley Jack's initial one, that took it down to 100, and you guys rolled 129 with Valley Jack being able to do that first thing, and then also adding a second push to this. And so as you guys collectively push, the horses move as well. The stagecoach lurches forward and out of the mud.
He did it.
And
Rook is applauding, but like a golf clap because his hands can't go too far apart from each other.
Yeah.
and
Still making good time, y'all. Still making good time.
you continue on for a few hours, and you see in the distance a massive cliff. It gets bigger and bigger as you approach, and soon you see that the path continues forward through a massive crack in a cliffside wall. It's about 50 feet of space to walk through, or to ride through, into what looks like a valley ahead. And Tannenbaum leading the way, calls back, "Here it is, the Calabasas Crevasse. I'm sorry we're not gonna go around it to meet up with your friends, Rook." And he continues forward. And you pass into the crevasse, and
This man has clearly never heard of dramatic irony. We're in a story, and he's just out here.
And it's kind of narrow for like 10 minutes of riding, and then it opens up into a very wide, isolated canyon before you. And you immediately notice there's a lot more green in this canyon than the plains before. And you can see that there are plenty of cacti around. In fact, most of the greenery you see is actually cacti. Off to the right, you see an erosion on the side of the canyon wall that looks like it once contained a massive waterfall. The sediment behind it shows like layers of muted colors, and you can see that these layers like extend around most of this beautiful kind of valley canyon landscape that you're in. Just as beautiful as ever. I haven't been here for years. You see what Rook wanted us to miss? Rook, you even know how to appreciate something beautiful? You probably liked it better when there were goblins out in those holes in those cliffs, before we smoked them out. You see, we were helping the railroad company set up in order to start laying tracks, and them goblins kept attacking, killing innocent men. Be thankful we don't have to deal with them anymore. They were nasty little critters. But we got them. And then after, the railroad company decided to go a different route. At least the hunting was fun. You like to hunt, Rook?
Rook remains silent and just kind of stares at Hugh across from him. Not really an expression on his face.
Hugh's
Story feels
horrified.
awful. Ominous.
But goblins are people.
Yeah, a whole lot of them lived here.
And the railroad didn't even end up going here?
You continue riding through the crevasse, and Namby, you look out, and with your keen perception skills, you see there's a what looks like, some almost like a stone on the ground, but it's not a stone. You look at it better, it looks leathery, and then you realize it's a corpse on the ground in the middle of this like sandy plains landscape. It looks like a humanoid figure that's just been like sucked dry of any moisture, and it's just pretty far out, pretty far away from where you are, but laying in the sand.
Oh, Valley Jack is the one driving, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely call over to him and just point that out and ask, like, what should we do?
Squint out there. Yeah. Body, huh?
Is there enough room for any of us to get off the stagecoach and walk? I
Yeah,
guess
you
I'm
walk
the only
next to it.
one. But could I get down potentially and walk beside the stagecoach, or is there not enough room?
Yeah, you can.
How far ahead is this corpse? Or body?
This corpse is like she was able to see it like 90 feet away. It's pretty far away.
Is it off
Okay.
to the side though, or is it like right in front of us?
Side,
Kind of like
off
where
to
we're going?
off to the side. She's kind of looking out in the landscape.
All right.
I guess I wouldn't get down until maybe we get closer at least.
Buckworth's in the back. He says, looks like someone forgot their cantina. Or that canteen. Cantina.
I thought that was just in
cantina.
character, honestly. I thought
You
it was
don't
just
know.
a
Yeah,
douchebag way to say it.
Some like weird, creepy thing
I
you
couldn't
say.
believe it. Is that a douchebag way? That's okay. That's how he said it.
If we get close to the dead body, I can cast Speak with the Dead on them and find out what happened.
I mean, that might honestly be good to see what happened to it.
I think that it would. I mean, unless
can
it's
talk
some
with
sort of trap. Yeah, yes, I can. We
All
can
right.
ask them some questions. We can reignite their spark for a moment.
What if whatever did that to it is still there?
A
Yeah.
fantastic question, Huguenard, and I would
Yeah.
like for us to keep a very keen eye as we approach.
Could be a bandit ambush. Could be what's scaring Rook. Eyes on a swivel, keep your hand on your holster. Yeehaw.
We moving? And you hear that from Tannenbaum up front.
Yeah, Tannenbaum, go check that out.
Let's keep moving.
I
and
want
Buckworth says in
I
the back.
definitely want to
but-
check with the body.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. what the hell? What are we doing? And Tiro, you're jumping out to go and see it.
I'll go along
I think we should be moving up the carriage too. Like I don't want people walking 90 feet away from the carriage. I think we as a group move closer to the body.
It's so there's plenty of cacti around. There's not a clear like path to like take the carriage and the horses there. Like,
okay, it's kind of like off the trail.
Easy. There's definitely a clear trail through here, and it's off the trail where the carriage would be able to go. The stagecoach.
Listen, this is kind of gross. Could we clear a trail with the Gatling gun?
Can we use the Gatling gun to cut through the cactus?
Cut through
How much
a bunch of
ammo do we have in the Gatling gun? Do we want to waste it?
Lay waste to the
Well,
farm.
it
Is
says
this the way we
things-
use the Gatling gun?
The things that are in the way of the Gatling gun have to make a DC 15 dex save, so I'm assuming cacti are not very dexterous.
You want to blast away through the cacti with the
My
with
only
the
worry
Gatling
is
gun?
alerting anything in the area to our presence before, it is wise.
That makes sense. Going in fully guns blazing, literally.
Hey, go check out that dead body.
Just like, oh damn, the door's locked. Let me shoot a hole in the wall next to it.
I'm willing to take the risk of walking off with me and Namby to talk to the body, if that, or anyone else who wants
Can
to come.
horses
but some
get up
people
there?
need to stay.
Can the horses? You could ride a single horse over there. You could ride a single horse.
Can I
Just
hop
not
on
the
Tiro's
stagecoach.
horse then?
I'll hop on Champer and head over there too if they're
on
at
up, Namby. She's probably so cute, little rabbit on a horse.
Oh my god, that'd be so precious. Bones, out of the corner of my eye, it keeps looking like you have one of those pink foam hair rollers on your head.
It's a cool cowboy hat. Audio listeners, there's nothing for you
Audio
to be
listeners, check out the YouTube video.
questioning.
Editor's note: it's not a cool hat.
It's 9 vials and there's another one, but Buckworth has it.
Oh, man. When you were describing yourself sleeping with your hat over your eyes, that I was picturing with the tiny
The tiny
cowboy
hat.
Hat over eye.
So Valley Jack is going on a horse, and Namby and Mtiro are on a horse. Was anybody else joining?
Oh man, I want to, but I also do not want to leave this carriage by.
I think you gotta stay.
Yeah, someone's got to. People got to stay with Rook too.
Okay.
Because you're the one who
gonna
can split
send,
yourself into two places too. Like,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna send Ink Zaz out 30 feet so that if shit goes down, I can start using like the transport feature in between the two. So,
Okay.
but he can only go out 30 from me.
So you guys walk out 90 feet to this
we're
body
walking
and ride
very
out to it.
carefully and keeping our eyes peeled for anything and being as quiet as possible. I never want to make that clear.
Namby's 22 passive perception sees everything.
So you guys make your way out carefully, and you make it all the way to the body on the ground. And you see this leathery corpse. It looks bone dry. Looks like it's had all the moisture sucked out of it.
It does. It still looks dead. What?
Yes, it is
Okay.
dead. This
Okay.
is, very dead.
Is it a human? Is it a goblin? Is it...
You can tell that it's a human. It's a human male. That is, you can see the clothes are tattered around. It's been here for a while. Yeah, you can see that some of the hair has kind of fallen off of it a little bit. It's starting to decay, but you can tell it has a very specific look to it.
Mtiro hops off his horse, then grabs a strand of his hair and like breaks it off and lights the tip on fire like an incense, and like puts the smoke like up to him, breathes it in, and then breathes it into the corpse's mouth to like animate it
That's so
back
cool.
to life.
So cool and also so gross. Grossest CPR ever.
Oh.
So this is Speak with Dead?
Yeah,
right?
it's you grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions you pose. It must still have a mouth and can't be undead. And the spell fails if the corpse was the target of the spell within the last 10 days. Until the spell ends, which is 10 minutes, we can ask it 5 questions, and it only knows what it knew in life. Yeah.
Okay. You do that. It comes to life. And
I didn't hear anything if you're saying something. That was Kyle's not yet. Okay, his eyes are just open. I was making sure your mouth is covered, so I could not tell if you were saying something and it wasn't coming through. All right, Valley Jack, you are the leader. Do you have any questions for him first?
How many questions do we have?
5.
5, okay.
Don't say that too loudly.
Careful. This is.
You guys are having an aside right now.
Maybe we should ask if someone was around when he died. I think if we ask him how he died, he might just say, someone killed me or I got sucked dry or something vague.
My friend, were you alone when you died?
Is he? Water. Yeah, he's...
You got cold water.
Who's got the bag of? Who's got the slant?
You guys all have
the Martian?
Buckworth, up here.
We need 60 gallons of water.
So you give him some water, and he
Plates him right back up.
alone, passing through.
Were you in an accident of some sort?
No accident.
Did you see something dangerous right before you died?
Yes.
Shoot. Okay.
What would you have done different?
How are we at?
To stay alive in that minute.
Pay the toll. Oh.
Is this our last? I'm not asking him this.
Yeah.
Is this our last
question? We have now asked 4 questions.
We just do one for him.
What would you like done with your remains?
Soak me. Gross. And then he collapses.
That guy's a freak.
I take the big rail and cut into one of the cactuses where they're super full of liquid inside and just
maybe Namby can bless it.
Body.
Crack one open.
Try to stuff him into a big cactus. Is this good? Does this feel?
I feel we have truly honored his dying wish.
Namby is standing there horrified, but can't tell anyone not to do anything.
This is the way of the West, Namby.
Brooke has limited understanding at 90 feet away through the little window, but it's just watching these guys are weird. What is this?
I think both Hugh and Rook are doing that thing where we're just watching with our mouths kind of open and then slowly turn and look at each other and back at what's happening out there.
Editor's note, Valley Jack didn't sleep last night and just found out that his world isn't real and there are 10 vials.
I suppose we should head back and keep our eyes out for any toll.
No.
Bridge troll toll?
I'm not going to ask Hugh about it specifically because I do feel like that would be,
Racist?
Oh my gosh, is that racist?
Speciesist?
Racist.
Yeah. I
Okay,
can
you,
say it because I am Hugh, but it's real racist if you say it.
Rook, what do you know about the toll?
Valley Jack, I do not traverse the crevasse.
Ooh.
Ever since these fools cleared it out. Remember what I said about balancing the scales? Well, they've been tipped one specific way for a while. I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah, the goblins were holding something back.
Something
worse.
wants to tip them back in the other direction, and seems like that old fool was the first to pay the price.
Well, I guess we just have to keep going forward, right?
That appears to be the only direction. I really thought he was just going to tell us where to take his body or something, you know, but instead he said to soak him.
Soak it.
Next time I'm going to ask, where would you like us to take your remains?
Into the center of the closest cactus. It's the way of the West.
You know, it's your first time using this spell, Tiro. It's okay. It's a learning curve.
Thank you, Namby.
The Marshal Tannenbaum from the front says, "Are you all done taking a piss?"
Marshal, could I please ask you to stop yelling as we progress through this dangerous canyon?
Dangerous? It's beautiful. Look around. And it just is, his voice echoes a little
It will
bit.
become dangerous for you if you do not stop yelling, I say.
That when I slide Rook the fork.
That's an intimidation if I have to make it. Check.
You
I
can
need
make
him
an
to stop.
intimidation check on him.
Not that good. 14.
Can I give the help action because I'm in the carriage so he can't see me? So I should be able to have my half troll feature that you gave me.
Oh, are you trying to yell at him? Yeah. Are you? What were you doing?
Yeah. I'm gonna help Tiro because I'm just sick of his shit too. So since I can't be seen, one of my half troll features for the viewers at home is that I get advantage on intimidation checks. And so I'm just gonna call out, he said stop. And then I'm gonna roll an advantage check because I'm tired. It's probably hot, and Hugh is very sick of hot locations.
I just
I'm
really
a big
need
boy.
this good. Thank you, Hugh, because I really don't want this guy yelling.
It's a
getting us
fucking
killed.
nat 20.
Oh my
Of course it is.
For a 24.
Holy crap.
Oh wait, which becomes a 22.
He is going to lose control of his horse for a second, and the horse is going to neigh back as he jolts as this booming voice comes from the carriage. He is able to control the horse, but it scares his horse and him as well as that booming voice of Hugh's come out, and he does not respond. He says, "All right, well, I'll keep it down then. Never know what could be out
The
here."
next time he asks you something, you do it when the first time. I shouldn't have to speak up again. And then I sit back down with Ink Zaz next to me. Actually, Ink Zaz is probably in my lap because it's such a small space.
Have you been a teacher before?
I feel so much like mom. Yeah, like mom was yelling at me, and then dad had to step in or something.
So you continue riding through the crevasse, and you see the steep walls with the layers of beautiful sediment and lots of large cacti around, and they become more and more numerous and the more clumped together. There's some big areas of cacti around, and you continue forward, and Namby, you see a cacti move very close to the carriage as it is kind of passing it.
Can I yell out to everyone? Not loud enough that it echoes, but just alert everyone.
As
watch
you
it.
yell out, all the cacti move, and suddenly
Jesus.
the cacti around you are surrounding the cart, and they kind of unfurl and show that they are a group of kobolds wearing cactus armor. And they surround the group, and they're holding weapons. And these big cactus boots on as well, and these big cactus shields and big helms made of cacti. And they're just surrounding and snarling, "Hold your horses," as the horses are kind of reacting, and they're kind of prodding with their swords. "Nobody make a move. We're not here to harm you. No. Not here to harm. We're just here to collect the toll. Pay the toll, and you'll pass through just fine."
Buckworth,
You
you were
gonna
ready
tell
for
us what
this?
the hell the toll is?
Crum. Okay, so Crum says, they look at you. Your water. Give us your water.
Hello, my friend. First of all, my name is Tiro Berstero. These are my colleagues, Huguenot Rockbridge, Namby Pembleton, Valley Jack, Crum. and I can't remember the marshals' names. They're not important. This toll you speak of, yes, how much water?
All your water. Give it to us, your canteen.
No,
You see that one up front? He's got a bag of water holdings. We need that. And Tannenbaum's like hell, I'm giving you my water.
My friend, perhaps we could have a moment to negotiate. You know, all of our water does not seem appropriate. Though we are certainly willing to give up some of our water, right? Everyone?
How many
Yeah.
kobolds are there, Kyle?
6.
6?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I mean,
Interesting.
as you can see, there's 6 of you. There are about, 8 of us. Half of our water to you would be much more fair than all of our water.
You could make a persuasion check.
I'll do it. That's
Make a
exactly what I
persuasion
wanted
check.
to do. Well, thanks.
Can I give the help action by just nodding emphatically out of the
Yeah.
carriage?
Do you have proficiency?
I have it, yeah.
Then give me the help action, please, so I can roll with
Help,
advantage.
help. I
For
nod
nodding
and-
outside the
Me and
carriage.
Inkzaz are just nodding
Well,
out of the carriage window.
The help action didn't do anything. I got a 21 on my my check.
They laugh. All your water. We need all of it. Give it to us. Give it to us. Give it to us. And they're like pointing their swords into you.
I can't talk to them when they're being like
I'm
this.
the sheriff of the town up there. Who's your leader?
They laugh. You want to meet her?
Yeah, sure.
No. You want to give us your water.
I hate kobolds.
I'm Valley Jack. Who are you?
We are followers of the Majak Vedo de Cress. Give us your water. Pay the toll. Now, you make decision.
How far are we from Constance? Like,
So you've been traveling for like half a day at this point, and so you have a day and a half of travel to get there.
How much do we think a big ass barrel of water costs? Because I can create items that are worth up to like 600 gold, I think.
That would be so much water.
Water is not that expensive.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Although we're also thinking Midwest U.S. Prices of water and not Arizona-ish region prices of water, so...
Not Western deserts.
Now the question
600 gold
I
is going to
think-
be a shit ton of water. Is
right? Because that's like enough to like.
It's an
keep
item.
But they want the
going.
water,
Yeah,
the bag
it's
of
insane.
holding, or water holding, or whatever, which is probably more. I don't know how
Sorry,
much.
I
it
can only make
costs.
60
120
gallons is in
GP.
that
I thought I got my math messed up. I can make 120 gold valued object, create an item, then it can be up to large. So I could make like just
We could just give him
big-
that water
Wait.
bag and then just create water later.
Well, yeah, but my water disappears after 3 hours and costs me spell slots. But if we just give it to them
the
right now,
water-
then they
I
don't
feel like
know
I-
that. My
But aren't they just going to want all of it, the bag and what you create?
Probably.
I mean, maybe.
Because they've already seen the bag.
It's a good point, but I can make
Here's
more than
the
bag,
deal.
right?
We need the bags. We don't need the water that's in the bags. We've got a barrel full of water, and we trick them into thinking we poured all of our water into the barrel.
That's a good idea. My friend, you win. We have a barrel in the back that we're going to fill with the water and give to you. But we must caution you to stay here, for we have a dangerous criminal in the back of the wagon that we are transporting.
It's not me. It's not me.
Give they say you give all the water.
Yes, we will. Of course, we will dump out all of our water into a barrel for you. We need the bags in case we find more water to survive on.
Yeah, so they are intrigued. They look intrigued at this point.
great. Well, I'm gonna go behind the wagon and just write out on a piece of paper, like desperate for anything to get rid of the kobolds. And Tiro looks behind the wagon to find a large barrel of water waiting for him, and I'll burn that. And so there should be a big, whatever large size is for a barrel. How many gallons is that? Large is.
That's pretty
large is,
big.
10 feet.
Yeah.
It'd be a
It's like a 10 by 10?
Just a big
It's like a water tower.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that dumps on you at the water park.
It's like that huge Western-style water tower.
So yeah,
It's like Fievel Goes West.
There is that. It is there. I can't move
Let's
it.
just pour
I
it
assume.
on the ground. It's on the ground.
Yeah, it's just there on the ground now.
Tip it over and roll it,
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'll hop down and help. I got a decent strength. I'm stronger than I look.
But you pour your water in it. You pour your water.
Well, that's what we were specifically trying to go where they couldn't see us when I did it.
His water. His water. And they point to Tannenbaum. He said, that's enough water, isn't it? And they say, we need all the water. Pay the toll. Pay the toll.
Tannenbaum, hand them your waters bag.
You're gonna have to roll for this. And this is not an easy DC at all to try and convince Tannenbaum to give up his bag of water holding.
If it's persuasion,
This
I
is
give
a-
him the help action.
Yeah, this is a very hard DC for you guys to hit.
Valley, are you doing an intimidation or are you doing, what are you doing? Because if you're doing intimidation, I can help you with my troll voice.
There you go.
Let's do it.
I give you a bardic inspiration. I'm like massaging your shoulders, like pumping you up, behind you.
Is that a D8?
Yes, it's a D8, and because this is an ability check, you get to roll it with advantage, basically.
Oh, well then never mind.
Well, just
no
the
help.
Well, no,
D8.
it's
Just the D8.
Oh, the D8. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna do an insight check to see why he's so protective of this water.
Everyone's gonna be happy to know I have a -2 to intimidation right now.
I have a
because
+5. I should have done.
Jesus.
I have a plus for, yeah.
Yeah, I have a +10 to persuasion. I could have.
Well, got a crit fail,
Oh, good.
but I got a 18 on the dice, 23, 21.
A 20. Wait, did you say 23 or 20?
21.
He did 23, then he
once
took the
I
2
get-
away from exhaustion, so 21.
Oh, Tannenbaum chuckles and Buckworth says from the back, he says, "Go on, Tannenbaum, give him some of your water." And Tannenbaum picks up his bag of holding and takes out the nozzle and just starts dumping it on the ground. And the kobolds react and they freak out. They say, no, stop. And the water hits the ground and it splashes on the ground and then you see it suck into the ground. And everyone, you all feel the moisture go out of the air. The kobolds put their armor over themselves and you see their cactus armor shrivel up. All of you are gonna feel the moisture leave your body. Everybody give me a Constitution saving throw.
The fuck does that look like for a fire genasi to lose the moisture from
Yeah.
your body?
Yeah. So, Memtiro, you are immune to this.
Oh, sick. Okay.
You are immune to this.
It doesn't look like anything.
Yeah. All right. That answers it.
And Namby, I want you to roll a perception check.
Okay. 14 perception.
Okay. Because you're still on the cart, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hugh, go ahead and give me a perception check as well.
Perception.
Yeah, perception check.
Just a 3, which becomes a 1. A dirty 1.
Okay. You don't notice anything. And you feel the moisture suck out of your body, and everybody that Constitution saving throw. Let's get your rolls here. So, Becca?
24.
24. And Brooke?
15.
15. And Valley Jack?
16.
16. And Crum?
10.
10.
Does Rook have to do it?
I am not going to have Rook roll for this. The DC on that was 15, so the only person who fails is Swain. Everybody else succeeds on the saving throw. You feel the water go out of your body, but you're able to hold some of it in with your constitution. Swain, with your bugbear body, you weren't prepared for this at all. The water leaves your body. You take a point of exhaustion. And and the kobolds start to react and back away from you, and you feel the earth move, and you see about 30 some feet away from you, one of the large masses of cacti open up, and you see it opens up in these large wings, these wings that have giant needles pointing out of them. This head rises up and roars and spits steam out of its mouth as you look and see a giant, gargantuan cactus dragon in front of you. And we actually have a mini for it right here. This is what you see. A giant cactus dragon with a huge cactus tail looks at you and roars and stomps its feet and says, Mayak devaut okras. And that is where we're going to stop the story for tonight. We will pick up there next time. Thank you to all the players this week, Scott, Brooke, and Becca, and Bones, and Charlie, and Swain. Their socials can be found in the description. If you'd like to see the video of this episode, it'll be up on our YouTube. Follow us at Talltale Tavern Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you like us, give us one of those good 5-star reviews. Join our Discord too. Thank you to Tyler Adelsperger for our intro music. Thank you to Zaezar for our artwork. And with that, we will see you next time at the Talltale Tavern.
Quick addition, there's 10 vials.
10
just all of us hanging out in the editor's bay.
Vials.
So we're all peering over Scott's shoulders. Like, hey, Scott, can you please remind everyone there are still 10 vials. They're all intact.
I will remind them.
Characters are interesting.
Characters are great so far.
In the episode description, it will tell you how many vials there are.
This will be chapter 5, 10 vials.